Hey everyone, it's Blake. Welcome in to episode number 2 of our WWE 2024 save and TEW 2020. This is our update episode. So I will say this up front. If you're watching this in the future and you already see other episodes added, Raw, SmackDown, actual shows, you can skip this one because this is just an update for everyone based on episode number 1, which was essentially asking the question, which path would you guys prefer to see? And we got a lot of awesome feedback in the comments about what direction to take here, and so this is just kind of an update to give everyone an idea of which way we're going to go with the save, and because, like we said, we still got a week to go before the Rumble, so to keep you guys a little bit invested in this one, we're going to do a bit of an update episode here with some thoughts. All right, so as we talked about the previous episode, on the first episode of the series, we are in January week 1 as of this save, but we said, all right, we got a couple options here. We can start before the Rumble and just start booking now and then book the Rumble ourselves, or we can wait until after the Rumble, use the men's winner, women's winner, anything else that happens at the Rumble, and start basically booking the road to WrestleMania. And that is what was the overwhelming choice from you guys, was to start after the Rumble and book, as is. Don't change the brands, don't change all that stuff, which we'll look at here in just a second, but take whatever happens at the Rumble, start the booking from there, and then we kind of carve out our own path with the booking and all that heading into WrestleMania 40. So that is what we're going to do. It seemed like that was the best choice from the start, and you guys were in favor of that. So that is exciting to know that is where we will begin. So we will start after the Rumble. We will start February week 1. And, of course, our pay-per-view after that will be Elimination Chamber. And then we will have WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2 coming up after that. We'll change these logos probably to the actual WrestleMania one for this year. But, all right. So, again, we looked at the options and we talked about, should we do a hard brand split right away the way we did with the WWE 2021 save? And as I said, that just would not have made a lot of sense. It was much different back then. In 2021, we started in June, and again, just the way things are going here, it would have been a big challenge to try to redo that entire thing and then book a Rumble and then book WrestleMania a couple months later. So, yeah, this makes the most sense, and so everyone will stay on their current brand as is in this update in the mod, so that everybody will stay there, and we'll add anyone to the mix should anyone debut at the Rumble, all that kind of stuff. So we will do that. And, we'll look at doing another draft after WrestleMania. That's the plan right now. Don't know exactly when. May come right after WrestleMania. We may wait till later. Maybe we're like, hey, we're kind of in a groove here with certain stories. Let's just hold off on the draft. So we'll make that decision once we get closer to that. But that is kind of where things stand right now. So, again, that is what won out in the vote, was to start after the Royal Rumble, book our own sort of direction from there, and will be kind of fun to see, how that kind of compares to what Triple H is doing. Someone mentioned that in the comments, and I agree. It'll be fun to kind of see what maybe the similarities, differences are, all that kind of stuff, in how we do things versus how WWE actually books it moving forward. A couple other things here in the update. Ben was kind of one of our first huge fans of the WWE 2021 save, and so Ben has been with us here on the channel for a long time. He's helped out with graphics, all that kind of stuff from the WWE save. So Ben mentioned maybe keeping Main Event here. And I think it's a good idea probably because it does give me some ideas to work with. You guys know, I try to limit however much I'm booking because I know how much I put into each of these individual episodes. But I think Main Event is kind of pretty low maintenance in terms of, just kind of looking at this and really, again, from a B-show standpoint, there's a lot of things we can do and just kind of play around with. And so rather than making it its own episode, what we can do is we can just kind of do an update, on certain episodes and say, hey, here's what happened on Main Event. I can just kind of fill you guys in on any sort of storyline notes and actually have an interesting way of doing that that's kind of popped into my mind, an idea of how we can push Main Event to kind of get you a little more invested in it, but not actually make it its own episode or full, booking of the show. Like, we were not going to go result for result or anything like that, but I have an idea on what we're going to do there, and this will also tie into the same idea I had for something else, and I think this will be unlike anything you've seen before in TEW. So I'm curious to see what you guys think of it, but I do have an idea because I actually used this a long time ago in another TEW save, which, my goodness, this was quite a while ago, and it was actually pretty fun to do, but I haven't seen it anywhere since, and it's kind of something where I'm like, hey, maybe I should bring this back because I think it'll get you guys invested. So there's a long tease there for something that you guys don't even know about yet, but we'll talk about it once we decide to do it. So main event will probably tie into that, and you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. But something else that was mentioned, another great comment I thought, was the possibility of booking NXT. And I will say, probably right now, I don't know that I will book NXT all the way, but I think NXT is another one. That idea I just teased is something else that I think I would probably think about tying NXT into that as well. So, you'll understand what I'm talking about once we actually reveal what that is. But for now, I like the idea of booking NXT, but I think we will stick with Raw and SmackDown while also keeping you guys updated on what is going on in NXT and some ideas, again, we may have for that. So I'll give you further details on the NXT situation here in the coming episodes. But for now, we will, focus on Raw, SmackDown, the usual stuff, the pay-per-views, the state of the companies that we do at the first of each month, all that stuff. So, but I will give you an update on what we're going to do with NXT in the next couple episodes because I have some ideas on that too. So, anyways, all right, so that was a lot, but I just wanted to keep you guys updated on what's going on in this particular save because I will tell you, I was just overwhelmed by how excited you guys are for this. I knew it had been so long since we did the WWE 2021 save. Wasn't sure if you guys were still like, hey, we love another WWE save or anything like that, but your feedback was awesome, and that gets me excited for putting this together. So I really do appreciate it. And now you have another decision to make. This is the decision episode, right? So you have another decision to make because we are releasing this a week away from the Rumble. We won't know who's going to win the Rumble until the following Saturday. So because it will take me, probably several days to book things after that because that is where we have to start. So I need to know everything that's going to happen at the Rumble before we can start putting things in motion and booking long-term and all that kind of stuff. So because that may take a few days, you're looking at the next potential episode of the save being at least a week and a half from now. So rather than do that, there is another option, I think, in terms of a holdover episode, we could call it. Not, may not tie into the full series and all that stuff, but there is an idea that I think could be fun. You tell me what you guys want. I'm open to your ideas. If we do kind of one more episode before we officially start the save, and again, this is kind of, we know up front that it's kind of a holdover episode, but it keeps you guys invested in it. What do we do regarding the Royal Rumble? Should we do, hey, here's how I would like to book the Royal Rumble. Here's how, I would do it. All of those things, that's an idea where it could be like, hey, I'm not going to book it person for person like I did in the WWE 2021 save because it's not going to be actually part of a show. But if you guys are like, hey, I'd love to hear how you would book the Royal Rumble as it stands right now. And oh, by the way, spoiler alert, I'll give you a couple seconds. If you've not seen it, with the Seth Rollins injury, that could certainly impact what's going to happen in the Rumble. And so because I'm recording this before Raw, there's no way of knowing what the announcement's going to be regarding Rollins' injury, how that impacts the Rumble and all that. So could we have some fun with that on kind of an in-between episode where we look at, okay, here are several options for how we would book the Royal Rumble as it stands right now, whether that's involving the Rollins injury, whether it's not, anything like that. So that's one option. I'm open to other options as well, predictions, anything like that. Just something fun we could do with maybe the booking, even though we know anything we say is not necessarily going to apply, but it may be fun to kind of say, hey, here's how I would book the Royal Rumble, and let's see if there's any similarities to how WWE actually does it. Maybe that's the episode we do for next week, just to kind of, again, keep you guys on the path here until we actually release the first episode of the series, which will be several days after the Royal Rumble next Saturday. So I'm open to your ideas, though. If there's something else that, catches your curiosity and you're like, hey, maybe I'd like to see that, anything like that, let me know because we will probably do one more episode before we officially start the series because this is kind of a unique scenario. Like I said, usually episode 1, then boom, episode 2, we're right into the series, but this is a little different. But again, you guys are excited, so hopefully you are excited to wait for that official first episode. But let me know what you think about the kind of in-between episode. Would you like to see some Royal Rumble booking ideas, all that kind of stuff? We can definitely have some fun with that if you would. So again, guys, I appreciate all your great feedback. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And on the next episode of our WWE 2024 save, it will either be a Royal Rumble kind of, booking episode, or it will be Raw for February week 1.